Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, you guys may have seen the title. I became a Christian. I used to be Catholic. Growing up, I was always Catholic, and so me and my husband made the decision of actually about a year and a half ago to really go full force and become a Christian. In today's video, I'm just going to be sharing you guys my story. It might be a long one, so just grab a snack, grab water, grab whatever you want to grab, or if you're driving, just plug me in. Don't watch me because we don't want you to crash. Just you can listen to me. But I think it's going to be a long one. I'm going to go in full details on like my life, what my life has been up to, tell you guys why I decided to make that change. So disclaimer, obviously this is my story. This is my personal experience. I'm not here to, if you guys are Catholic or whatever religion that you are, I'm not here to make you switch. Not at all. I'm just here to tell you guys my story because I have noticed that you guys, when you guys message me, you ask me like, why are you, weren't you a Catholic? Why are you changing? What made you change? And do you like it? So I'm just here to make that video for you guys. It's been highly requested and I am just here to be an open book and kind of give you guys, you know, the rundown on why I decided to make that change. And it's been one of my favorite and best decisions of my life, and I can't wait to share it with you. So with that said, I am going to be doing my makeup as I'm talking to you guys, but it will be a long one, just so you are aware. So I pretty much grew up Catholic my entire life, you guys. My parents are Catholic, my entire family is Catholic, and we grew up going to church. Well, actually, we didn't really grew up going to church like at the beginning, like with my parents. I just remember going to church like really consistently when I was like probably like in middle school, I would say. Like my parents weren't like super religious at that point from what I remember, because my dad was an alcoholic, and he and my mom were very young when they got married. They came to the US and then they started their life. But obviously, like my grandma, my dad's side of the family, and my mom's side of the family are super Catholic. So I would definitely say though that my dad's side of the family is more Catholic than my mom's side. But I remember just like my memory overall though is super bad. But I just remember going to church when I was like in middle school. I used to be involved. Well, my parents would actually make me be involved in the church. I remember going to like youth groups. Also, I was the, ¿cómo se dice en español? Monaguilla? Una monaguilla, I think. Like the ones that hold the velas for El Padre. So I used to do that. My parents would, well, mostly my dad would make us do it. Me, my brother, and my sister, and we were so little when we would do it. Was aware of different religions, but Catholic is what I grew up. I thought like it was like the only church like you could go to. Like it's the only religion, honestly. Like that's literally how I felt growing up. I would even go to like como grupo de jóvenes, like a youth group, growing up in a Catholic one. And I remember my dad actually signed me up. Like I didn't want to go. He would sign me up, and when I would go, I had this other friend who would go with me at the time, and we hated it, you guys. Like we did not like going, but it was because our parents would make us, and like I just didn't really like going to the youth group at all. Like I just wanted to go home, and don't get me wrong, like I love the traditions, like I really do. Like I think they are absolutely beautiful, and I love how every culture has their own beliefs and their what they celebrate. Like it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. And you know, I grew up going to el 12 de diciembre para la Virgen, so I would always go to that with my parents. But I just always felt like something was missing, you know what I mean? Like I always felt like with the Catholic Church, when we would go, like we would be at church and I would space out. Like I legit would be thinking about, what am I gonna wear for school tomorrow? Like when I was in high school, what am I gonna wear for school? What am I gonna do this, or I'm gonna go home and do that. So like I legit wouldn't be focused, and I feel like maybe that's like a lot of us too, you know, even if you're a Christian or whatever religion that you are, probably like if you don't feel that connection. But growing up, I definitely didn't feel no connection at all. I just felt like going to Catholic church, just checking it off the box, like, okay, I went to church on Sunday and then move on with my life. And that's literally how I felt. I don't know how to explain, like I kind of felt it more forcefully than I did like me by myself searching it for myself. So I hope this is all making sense. I always felt just forced when I was a Catholic. And like I said, this is just my personal story. You guys may have a totally different experience than I have, but this is just how I personally felt. Growing up, I went to like youth camps. I remember I went to a youth camp group too, and I did not like it. I did not want to be there. I was just not connected, you know, with Jesus. They would do like the Virgin Mary ceremonies at the youth group or the youth camps, and I just couldn't feel that connection at all, you guys. Like I literally, again, I didn't want to be there. My parents signed me up forcefully, and you can't tell your dad, like, I mean, obviously, yeah, we would tell my dad, like, I don't want to go, but he would just be like, you know, it's good for you, which I agree, you know, I'm not disagreeing with that, but, you know, just going forcefully was just not ideal for us. And don't get me wrong, like we all believed in God. Like I did. Like I believed that there was a God. Like I would literally remember praying, you know, by myself in my room. Like we shared a room with my sister, and we would always get on our knees and pray. And that is something that I'm super grateful from my dad, that I do take from my dad and my mom, you know, and my aunts, because we're all pretty close, you know, that they did put that in our life. Like God is real, and God, you know, does do miracles. And so I'm honestly very grateful for that. Like, because now that I'm like in my 30s, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so glad that I have God in my life, because, you know, and it starts from when you're little. And that's what I want to do with my children. Like if I ever have the blessing of have kids, like I want my kids to know that God is real. At church, I just always felt like I'd never felt that connection, you know, like cuando hablaba el priest, like I just wouldn't feel no connection at all. Like I didn't feel anything, even like, not even just when I was like younger, like even because we just barely like took or made the switch officially like about like a year and a half ago. So we were still going to a Catholic church a few years back, and I still couldn't feel that connection. Like I literally would still find myself at church thinking and dozing off and thinking of other things. So I just never felt nothing, like at all, you guys. It was so weird. We've even done retiros matrimonial with my husband. We've been to two, I believe. Yeah, two retiros. And they just never worked for us, like ever. I think also what it has a lot to deal with is with those retiros matrimoniales, like I find them very boring. Like especially this one that we went to once, when our marriage was struggling, we went to one, and we literally sat in a room with a bunch of couples, and the couple that was leading the group was literally just telling us their story. And we were just sitting there, and like you can tell that everyone was super bored. Like you can see couples talking to one another, like they weren't engaging, they weren't, like, it was just really, really bad. So I feel like maybe if they would work on that a little bit more, or maybe have the couples be more involved, like I feel like it would have been much better. You know what I mean? Me and my husband have tried that, and it just never worked for us. And I could just tell that our marriage was struggling so much. And I think I want to make another video, a separate video of getting into how me and my husband's marriage has been throughout the years, because it's been a wild one. Gracias a Dios, like right now we're doing amazing, but our marriage did struggle a lot. And I felt like religion really did save our marriage, you know, like making the switch, which, like I said, I'll make a more dedicated video into that. Because I know that there's a lot of couples that do struggle with marriage, and marriage is hard, okay? Like marriage is so hard. So then when you go and get that type of help, you know, and it doesn't work for you, like you kind of get discouraged, and then you move on with your life, and then the problems start coming, which I get it. Problems are never going to go away, but I feel like right now, where we're at right now with our marriage, we find ways to make it work and fix it. But at that time of our lives, like it was so bad. I just kind of felt like everything was so repetitive, you know, and we kept saying the same things all over and over again. And I felt like that really didn't make me personally, didn't make me feel, you know, God's presence, if that makes any sense. So I'm just really glad that we actually made the switch, because now it's so different. And then of course, growing up in high school, like a lot of my friends were Catholic, and we were, a lot of us didn't have like that, how do you say it? Like spiritual guidance, you know? So we were running wild, going to parties, you know, and dealing with boys and all that stuff, which don't get me wrong, like those were like some fun times in my life. I'm hanging out with my friends and doing crazy stuff. But you know, at that age, you know, you're not really thinking of like God or going to church or, you know, so I kind of felt like I rebelled a lot growing up. And I felt like I was super lost most of my time, most of my lifetime. Now that I look back at my life, I'm like, oh my God, like I was so lost. I was hurt. My parents were going through a divorce at that time too, when I was in high school, a senior in high school. And I legit like, and it's crazy because like I still believed in God. I did. I still believe in God. I was still a Catholic before I met my husband. And my parents were getting divorced. I would still pray to God, but I was still kind of doing like my own thing, if you know what I mean. Going to parties, getting drunk, meeting boys. It was a really hard time in my life at that age when I was like 16, 17, 18. But I had so much fun too. Like I made great memories with my friends, and I don't regret anything in life because I feel like everything happens for a reason. You go through things for a reason, and you know, those are memories that you're making with people that you love, you know, and you were having a good time. But so many of those times, you guys, I seriously like can't believe that I never got arrested. Like I never, like there's just so many times where we could have gotten arrested with my friends. Not that we were like super, super wild, but we were just like at the wrong place at the wrong time when cops would show up. Like we would literally get away. Like it was wild growing up, but it was so much fun at the same time. But I feel like at that time, like I felt like we were all lost, you know, like we were all going through our own shit with our families, and getting together as friends like just made us forget about everything. And I feel like when you're a teenager or growing up, you know, like you feel like partying and you feel like being with your friends and meeting boys, like it's gonna take that pain away, but it truly, truly doesn't. Like now that I'm in my 30s and I can go back, I'm like, oh my God, like I was looking for happiness in the wrong places. And then when my parents got divorced, that's where I met my husband. So I met him and we started dating, and then my parents were getting divorced, and our house went to foreclosure. So we lost our house. And I didn't want to live with my mom, and I didn't want to live with my dad because I didn't want to make either one of them feel bad for me picking one of them. So I moved in with my husband at a very young age. I think I was like 19 or 20. I don't remember. But I moved in with him and my suegra and his family. And so you make that drastic decision, you know, but because you're so young and you don't know what to do. Like I didn't have a stable job. I didn't have nothing going on for myself. Like, again, like I said, I was super, super lost with my life. And when you don't have your mom's support, you don't have your dad's support, like they're going through their own shit, you know, with their divorce, and a few things happened between them, and you know, as a teenager, you're trying to figure things out. You think you're all grown and you make bad decisions. But I guess what I'm trying to say with all that, it's like, you know, when you don't truly have God in your life, you know, and this is just my personal opinion, you know, when you don't have God in your life, like you make crazy, drastic decisions. Like you are doing life the way you want your life to come out to be, if that makes sense. You know, like you're making decisions on your own without including God in them. And when you don't include God, like you make crazy decisions. And there was many times too in my life where like when I would smoke weed, I legit would see, there was this one time where we got super high with my friends, and it was so fun and it was funny at the time. But I smoked so much one time, or I don't know if someone put something in it, because we bought it off a different person, and I was so high, you guys, that I legit felt like I saw ghosts. Like I was so pale. From what my friends were telling me, I was so pale. They were thinking of taking me to the hospital because I was so pale, and like I felt sick to my stomach. Like it was such a horrible feeling, you guys, that I literally would see ghosts literally around the entire apartment where we were at. Like I would see them everywhere. And I think that was the last time I actually smoked that much. But it was super, super scary. And now that I think about it, I'm just telling you guys, like, it's just crazy when you don't have your parents in your life because they're going through their own crap. You know, you're running wild and you think you have everything figured out, but you truly don't. Like, it's just crazy. I'm gonna do my eyeliner because I can't do it while I'm talking. So, and then fast forward, you guys, to when we got married. I felt like with my dad didn't pressure me to do anything that I didn't want to do, but I also felt like since he is super Catholic and me and my husband were already, you know, living together, dating for 2 years, he was just like, you know, I think it's time to get married, and he would always kind of pressure it on us. And which I get it, you know, like I respect everyone's beliefs, and my dad would always just be like it's just, you know, if you're a Catholic, like that's just not the right thing to do. Like you guys need to get married. And so I felt like we were like, you know what, maybe it is the right thing to do, you know, like, and that's also when you don't have God in your life. You know what I mean? Like, it's also like, if I can look back, I could legit just be like, oh my God, like, no, like, we're not ready. You know, like, if we had God in our life, you know, like, is this the right thing that we need to do as a couple? Like, do you think you want to spend the rest of your life with me? You know, I feel like our marriage, which, you know, it's great now, but we definitely struggled along the way, especially because we didn't have God in our life. Like, our marriage struggled so much, you guys. If you guys are planning on getting married, like, make sure you guys are both in it for the right reasons, and you know that you have God in your life. I feel like it would make your marriage so much easier. I promise you that, because having God being the center of your marriage, you guys, seriously makes wonders. And when people would tell me that back in the day, I would be like, yeah, right. Like, you know, I would legit be like, no, like that's not true. But now I'm like, it's true. It is so true. And now that I listen to Pastor Mike Todd, if you guys have not listened to him, he is a preacher, a pastor, and I absolutely love. He has this series called Relationship Goals. If you guys are single and you guys are wanting to get married really soon, or you're dating or you're not dating yet, I definitely highly recommend you guys listening to his series on relationship goals. Like, it's seriously, like, it opened up my eyes, and I was like, I wish I knew this back in the day. I truly, truly do wish I knew that. Now, I don't regret it now. Like, I definitely don't, because I mean, I'm still here with him. Even though everything that we have been through, like, I'm still here and I still want to be with him. And if you guys are trying to get married, like, don't let anyone ever pressure you on getting married if that's not what you want. Like, I learned that the hard way. So I'm telling you right now, do not be pressured by your parents, by your family, your friends, anybody. You know, do it when you guys feel like it's the right thing to do. And then fast forward, you guys, to a few years ago, we went through something super, super heavy as a couple. Was super heavy on us. We were separated for a long time. And I will do another video, like I said, but we decided finally, you know what, like, this is not gonna work if we don't have God in our life. Like, even though we were married, we were still going out, we were drinking, we were hanging out with friends who were drinking and partying. And honestly, we would come home and we would fight. We would fight all the time because when my husband, when he drinks tequila, he is a whole different person. Like, he is legit someone that annoys me. I want to, like, leave him out in la calle, come home to myself. Like, he legit would piss me off. So I, you know, with him drinking tequila, like, was just not good. So we had to make that decision, you know what, like, we need to stop. Like, we need to stop doing this. So we just knew that it was just time to make a change, like, legit an actual change. And so we decided to, my husband actually has been going to a Christian church. Before he actually met me, he said that he's been to one years ago, and so he was familiar with it. I was not. Remember, like, I always thought that Catholic was the only religion. Growing up, like, that's all I knew, so I always thought that's it. Like, there's no other religion out there. So I finally, like, one day I was, like, on YouTube, and I was just, like, searching, like, I was going through a really hard time personally for me. Like, I was going through depression. I was going through a lot. And we were already married. This was like a few years back. Legit wanted a divorce. I wanted to be by myself. I was going through so much darkness. And one day I was just like, you know what, like, let me just go on YouTube and I think I typed in feeling depressed, feeling something, I forgot what I said. And I found Pastor Mike, which is the pastor that I've been telling you guys about. So I found him online. I forgot what message he was preaching, and I clicked on his video, and instantly, you guys, I got hooked. I legit got hooked. I started watching his sermons, his YouTube channel, because Transformation Church has a YouTube channel. So I started watching it. I was just like, oh my God, this is a Christian-based church. Like, this is not Catholic. And I started slowly every single Sunday when they would upload, I would constantly watch all the time. I did not miss any Sunday. Like, we would go to Catholic church, and then like on my days off, when I wasn't doing lash extensions, I legit would just sit there with my notebook, take notes on the sermon or on the message that he was preaching. And you guys, started slowly switching, and then we found a Christian church in Oregon. It's called Salem Alliance. Someone had a client that I was doing lashes on. She recommended me that church. And so we started going. I literally, you guys, felt so different. So at a Catholic church, when we would go, like I said, remember, like, I would always doze off. I would start thinking of other things. And when I went to a Christian church for the very first time, when the songs started playing, it hit me. Like, it legit hit me like, whoa. Like, I started crying. Like, I literally started tearing. Not like hysterical crying, but just like my eyes got super watery. Like, I felt something in my heart. I felt something, and I was just like, what is this? You know, like, I've never ever felt this way at a Catholic church. And I've been to retiros too, never ever felt that either. A Catholic retiro, I've been to a few with my dad in the past, and I've never felt that ever. I felt like that's what was missing in my life. Like, I literally felt like I just felt so different. The pastor was so cool too. He was like talking to you like normal, you know. He'd be like, hey guys, good morning, how are you guys, you know. Then he would talk, and then like it just felt so different. And we started going every single Sunday. We would never miss. And that's the thing, you guys, too, with what I've noticed, that with the Catholic church, I always felt like, oh, I have to go. Like, I just have to go because I have to go. You know, it's the right Catholic thing to do because I grew up Mexican, you know, I'm Mexicana. So, you know, it's the thing, you know, every Sunday, los domingos a la misa, you know, that's just what it was. And it just kind of felt, like I said earlier, you know, like I would just check it off my bucket list pretty much. Like, that's how I felt. With the Christian church, even till this day, like, I can't wait till it's Sunday. Like, I legit can't wait till it's Sunday. I want to go to church. We went yesterday. Amazing. I felt like it just feels so different. I'm getting a little bit better at reading my Bible too. Like, that's something that we actually just signed up for. We signed up for Bible study. Couple Bible study groups that do those on Wednesday nights. So we just signed up for that last week. So we're so excited because it's just for couples, and you know, you read the Bible, and it's gonna be my first time, so I have no idea what's gonna happen. Last year was when we decided to actually take it more serious, you know, becoming Christian, after I found that message from Pastor Mike. And then we hit a tough bump on the road last year, the year before that. So almost 2 years ago, before we moved out here to Arizona. We hit a really rough patch where, like I mentioned earlier, we had separated for a long time, for like 4 or 5 months, more than we have ever been separated. And we were already Christians. And I legit, you guys, felt kind of let down for a second, you know, and I was doing my old ways. I was doing old things. I would go out to party, drink with my friends. And I was just like, deep down, I literally felt like this is just not what I want. You know what I mean? Like, even though I would go out with them, I would come home by myself and I'd be like, what am I doing? Like, this does not feel right. You know, even though we were going through that tough road or that tough patch, like, I just felt it in my heart that it was just not the way to do things anymore. And so then, anyways, long story short, we decided to get back together, and then we officially committed, you know what, like, we can't do this without officially having God in our life. You know, like, we cannot make this work if we don't have that, if we're not on the same page. No matter what we've been through, you know, me and him did horrible things to each other in our marriage, but because we'd never had God or never took God seriously in our relationship. Making that change, you guys, really made us stronger. Decided to move out here, start something fresh. Like, yeah, we've been trying throughout the years, but not officially having God in our life. So at our church, at Impact Church, we started doing our 30-day journey with God. And you literally, you guys, it's like a 30-day, you read one message every single day. Day 6, and it says grow up. And it says God wants us to grow up to know the whole truth and tell it in love, like Christ in everything. It has Ephesians 4:15. So what I love about this, you guys, that every single day hay un mensaje así, but at the bottom you have the Bible verse. So I always go to my Bible and I read it, and it's so cool because like I started reading chapter Matthew, and I heard it's like the best chapter in the Bible. So just knowing that I'm finally picking up a Bible, and I'm gonna show you guys my Bible because it's so cute. It's pink. I love my Bible because it's pink, super, super cute. And this was like when I was in Salem, actually, when I was going through that hard time with my husband and our separation. So like I literally have all these sticky notes where I like highlighted my favorite Bible verses, and then I just go throughout and I highlight things that really, or phrases that really stand out to me. And like I said, I'm still learning, and that's why we actually signed up for the couple Bible study group at our church, so we can learn more. I generally feel super content and happy where I'm at right now with my faith, and I can't wait to see what happens in the near future with all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply some lash, you guys, finish my eyebrows, and then apply a lipstick, and I'll be right back to end the video. So I want to apologize because they're doing something outside. I have no idea what they're doing. I feel like they're never done doing construction here at these apartments. I mean, they are brand new, but still, it's like it's been a year and they're still doing things outside. I'm like, can you not? That is pretty much it, you guys, for today's video on how I converted from being Catholic to becoming Christian. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, like I said, this is just my personal journey, what has helped me and what makes me happy. So I hope you guys were able to kind of understand a little bit more, and I hope this video helped. I'm not here to transform you guys into becoming Christian because we all have our own individual plans. And I also wanted to kind of say that my family still loves me, even though I am a Christian now. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we all follow the same God, and, you know, we have that in common, and we still love each other very, very much. I also wanted to point out to you guys some of my favorite Christian music. If you guys want to check them out, I love Maverick City music. Oh, they are amazing. Elevation Worship is one of my top. Actually, I want to say like those are like the only 2 Christian bands that I listen to. They are amazing. If you guys want to check them out, whenever you feel like you're having a bad day, I love putting on Maverick music or Elevation Worship. I will list some of my favorite songs down below for you guys so you can check those songs out. Also, I love Adrienne Bailon. If you guys don't know who she is, I believe her husband is a Christian singer. Adrienne Bailon is seriously amazing. I want to meet her one day just because she is full of God. Like when I look at her, she just looks so happy, glowy, healthy. She loves Jesus. So I love that. And I love their show, The Real, because they do talk about God on the show. And I love that because she does not hide who she is, and she doesn't hide who she loves, which is Jesus. She loves makeup, fashion. I just love her. So if you guys don't follow Adrienne Bailon, I will link her down below. Her husband also sings beautiful. And they have a few videos on YouTube that I love to listen to, which I will also link down below for you guys to check out. I am still progressing in this Christian journey, so I don't know where God's taking me with this, but I can definitely tell you guys that I am super happy where I am at in my journey. And also, you guys, I don't want to say that being Catholic is bad or it's wrong, because it's not. I honestly respect, you know, everyone, like my friends and my family. Like I said, they are still Catholics, and I still talk to them. Like my best friend is actually Catholic, and you know, we still talk on a daily basis. So I'm not here to bash on Catholics or anything like that, because that was once part of my life. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got to know me a little bit better. So let me know if you guys like these type of videos. Do you guys like me doing my makeup at the same time, or do you want me just to sit here like how I am right now during this outro and talk to you guys? So I really want to know your opinions down below and let me know what you guys prefer. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Besitos. I love you. Bye.